Justice James Omotosho, the new judge that took over the case of the detained Biafra agitation leader, Nnamdi Kanu, has accepted the apology tendered by Nnamdi Kanu through one of his lawyers, Barrister Kanu Agabi, a Cross-River State-born former senator in the Nigeria National Assembly and two-time Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice under the then President Olusegun Obasanjo, over the detained Biafra leader's outburst or manner he protested sequel to his rejection of the former judge, Justice Binta Nyako, when the case started afresh on Friday with the new judge, which Nnamdi Kanu pleaded not guilty to the 7 counts terrorism charges filed against him by the federal government. There was a chaotic situation within the court environment when men of the Nigeria Secret Police, Department of State Services, DSS, allegedly prevented TVC News reporters from taking video footage at the court. After pleading not guilty to the 7-count charges of terrorism, the case was adjourned to April 29, May 2 and 6, 2025 for accelerated hearing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was represented by his lawyers, namely Kanu Agabi, San, Uche Njoku, San, Aloy Ejimako, Esquire, and Maxwell Opara, Esquire. The case involving Nnamdi Kanu has dragged up to 10 years since he was first arrested in 2015 when he arrived in Nigeria from London. It was gathered that many people, including relatives of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, were barred from entering the courtroom by operatives of the DSS. Some journalists were also restricted from covering the court proceedings. We had reported that the detained Biafra Republic agitation leader, Nnamdi Kanu, has not been released by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN Justice Kadirat Kekere-Ekan, Nigeria National Judicial Council, NJC says in reaction to viral rumors that the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB leader, has been set free by the CJN on the ground that Nigeria courts under her leadership have no jurisdiction over the freedom fighter's case due to the way and manner he was forcefully extradited from Kenya to Nigeria in 2021. We had reported that the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, on Valentine's Day sent a message to the lovers, supporters of the Biafra Republic agitation and the general public that he would remain in detention until impartial and unbiased judge take over the case of alleged terrorism filed against him by the federal government of Nigeria, narrating how the judiciary has been biased against him since years of his detention. We had reported that Justice Binta Nyako of Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned indefinitely after the detained leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, was seen in a privileged video footage during February 10, 2025 court session, staged a resistance protest, insisting while confronting the judge face-to-face, including the prosecuting counsel, Adigboyegbara Womolo, that Justice Binta, who is an indigene of Katsina State, same state with former President Muhammadu Buhari, is biased, saying, Justice Nyako, who had held the political position of Katsina State Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, that her court is not a court of law but a shrine of injustice, accusing the judge of poke-nosing with authorities to pass wrong judgment against him in order to be left off the hook by the federal government. Her son, Abdulaziz Nyako, and her husband, retired Vice Admiral Murtala Nyako, who was once Chief of Naval Staff, Deputy Chief of Defense Staff, pioneer, former military governor of Niger State, 2 times governor of Adamawa State, who were impeached twice by Adamawa State House of Assembly for misconduct, one of the soldiers that fought against Biafra during Nigeria's civil war, a current member of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, who is facing corruption charges alongside his son in a criminal allegation filed before court of law since 2015 by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over alleged cases of abuse of office, criminal conspiracy, theft and money laundering. We had October 2024 reported that the Chief Judge of Federal High Court in Nigeria, Justice John Tahemba Soho, has rejected the verbal plea by the detained indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB leader, Nnamdi Kanu, for the trial judge in the case, Justice Binta Nyako, to withdraw being the judge over the lawsuits. Justice Soho stated that Kanu's case was reassigned to Justice Nyako due to its prolonged nature, dating back to 2015. Given that Justice Nyako had handled the case for the most part, she was deemed the most suitable judge to see it through to its conclusion. However, the chief judge directed that if at the next hearing of the case, Kanu still insists on recusing Justice Nyako, he must file a written motion with an affidavit, stating all the grounds for requesting the recusal. We have reported in September 2024 that Justice Binta Nyako of Federal High Court sitting in Abuja have withdrawn from the case of detained Biafra leader Nnamdi Kanu after the trial could not commence following the Biafra leader's personal confrontation with the judge for the second time in the year. We had reported in May 2024 that, in a rare case in the history of legal proceedings in the world, Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, held himself at the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja and played the role of a lawyer with full energy and vibrant command of words, with fearless loud voice defended himself with face-to-face confrontation with the trial judge, Justice Binta Nyako, and the Federal Government Prosecution Counsel, Adigboyegba Awomolo. Kanu is being prosecuted by the federal government on a 7-count bordering on terrorism.
Very well, thank you.
You have finally gotten a new judge to handle your case. How do you feel about that?
Great, I suppose. Yes.
So what are your expectations from today's proceedings?
Is that justice will be done, of course, in accordance with the rule of law. That's what I'm expecting. Thank you very much.
That's my daughter. Take advantage of my daughter.
Osasua Connected, bringing you the news in a more digital way.